Hello guys, this is my second video on YouTube. My name's Sonia and I'm a Younique consultant. I'm going to do a quick video, well hopefully quick, on some of the products we carry for brows. A few tips and tricks I like to use because as you can see I have like little to no eyebrows, and just which products would work with what kind of eyebrows, well in my opinion. So let's get started. So the first product I'll show you guys is, oh holy moly, is the Moodstruck Brow Obsession Palette. This one happens to be in the shade medium. They have a light, medium, and dark. And here it is. So these, the ones on top are powder. This is a cream shimmer. This is like a pink, almost like a putty, concealery kind of, I guess like a concealer. It feels like a concealer. And then this is the wax. So I'll do a quick swatch of the powder so you can see what. I tried to do this earlier so I already have some swatches, but it didn't go through. So here's the lighter of the two shades. Clean finger. Here is, I feel like the darker one is a lot more, this one is really nice and buttery, and this one feels a little more chalky to me. But so that was the lighter. It's like a camel color. And this is the darker one. See, and it's not quite as pigmented. It's a lot cooler, but it's not quite as pigmented. I love this one. This one's okay, and I do use it, but of the two, I really like this shade. I'm not really going to swatch these. Well, I guess I can swatch the shimmer one. So you can kind of see, maybe not. Get a little bit more. Oh, I had brow stuff. Sorry. And then the wax, obviously. So this is great for somebody who has, in my opinion, like fuller brows than I do. Maybe they're a little unruly, so the wax will really help set them in place. And the powder, it's not quite as pigmented. Well, it's pigmented, but it's better suited for like filling in the sparse areas. So I'll do a quick tutorial on, or like a, I don't know, what would you call it? Like a demo on my little girl in a couple minutes. This is Bella. Bella. So that's this one. They also carry a line of pencils. And it's got a spoolie on one end, and then they come in light, medium, and dark as well. I've got the medium and dark, and I'll swatch those for you. I would say, when in doubt, go with medium. So here's, and look at how nice and thin the line comes out. I really genuinely like these. Great for making the little hair-like strokes, really precision lines, so you can outline wherever you want your color to land. And here is it, the dark. So yeah, I don't know if you can see the difference, but that's great for if you have really dark brown hair, brunettes. But like I said, when in doubt, I would just go with medium, because even if your hair is dark, if you go with a shade lighter, it tends to brighten up your look. So they carry, this is my favorite brush in the entire collection. This is the Brow Artist brush. So it has one flat side like that to clean up under the brow. And then it's got this little angled brush, which is perfect for defining your brows. They make a similar one for eyeliner, and it's got a bigger angled brush, and then it's got like a fluffy one on the end. This one actually I like 10 times more for your eyeliner. It's so much more precision. I really, really, really love this one. And lastly, the other product they have for brows in their line is called the Moodstruck Precision Brow Gel. This has fibers to build the volume, and it's a little tiny brush. Super, super tiny. And it's just to hold your brows in place. It has fibers in the gel, so it kind of makes them look fuller. So that's this. As far as what I use, I don't use any, well, let me rephrase that. I use pencil on mine. And I use something that's not, I guess, necessarily for eyebrows, but I love it. So I go in with and I'll do it really quick. I go in with a brow pencil to map out where I want mine. And I like mine a little bit more defined and prominent than maybe somebody that would like a softer, more natural look. I mean, I go back and forth, but typically that's what I use. So I'll go in, and the way you figure it out is, I'm going to put a mirror back here. Like I said, I'm new to this, so I'm sorry if I'm like looking in the wrong places, but right at the bridge of your nose, you want to line up your pencil and make a little dot. Boop, just like that. Then where the color ends on your eye, if you're looking straight ahead, you're going to go up high right there. That's going to be where your arch typically will be, or where I put my arch, I should say. Pencil along the edge of your nose, along the corner of your eye, and that's where my brow will end. So that's how I use these 3 dots to map out where I want my eyebrow. Now, using those 3 dots, I would start at this one and slightly start angling up, just like that, a straight line. And then right when I get to that dot where the angle is going to be, I'm going to start rounding it off. Round. And get to that last dot. So now I have the bottom of where I'm going to do my brow. Now, I'm going to follow the exact same lines, just a little higher. And like a little equal sign, go all the way up. Start thinning it out a little bit when you get closer to that dot, so you can start rounding it down. And there we go. So that's the basic outline. Now, using this spoolie, I'll try it. No, I can't use that. Using the spoolie, I'm going to start on the bottom line, I'm going to brush up softly. And then on the top line, I'm going to blend it out softly as well, because I still want the color there. I just don't want it really, really dark. Okay, so that's what I use to map it out. Now, the product I was telling you guys I use, it's not for your eyebrows, but I love, is this splurge. It's a matte cream shadow. They have a line of shimmery ones and matte ones. I stinking love the formula of this one. It is called Faithful, and it's a soft, cool brown. I don't know if the color's coming out, but I will, let me do a little swatch. Okay, so if there's any clean arm, right here. So that's the color. It's really, really nice texture, and it blends out smooth. So it goes on as a cream, and then you can blend it out as a powder. So that's why I really like it for my brows. Bells, can I use a wipe? My arm looks so gross. So that thing about being new to this and being an oldster is I still don't know how you guys all edit, how you cut out parts that like you don't want in the video. So sadly, this is going to be way too raw, and I'm sure I'm going to look back on these videos and be like, oh, cringeworthy. But it is what it is. I'm sure I'll learn to get better. Yeah, we'll get better. Okay, so now that I have that mapped out, I'm going to go in with that Splurge eyeshadow and my brush and just softly tap it in there. I love the look of ombre like eyebrows. I like when they're soft and light in the front and then get darker as they go towards the tail end. And with this, you're really able to do that, because wherever you start is where it's going to be the darkest, and you can go towards the tail, and then just with whatever's left, I go in with to the front. So I'm going to start right in the middle and lightly start making little flicks or little hair-like motions, I guess. So there we go. We're going to fix it up in a minute. So now that I can see I'm running out of product, I'm going to go into the front and start brushing it up. So this, when I was doing this, I'm just going straight out with the brush. Now I'm going to put the flat side like lined up here and just flick it up softly. And again, brush through. Oh, I just realized I was breathing like a pug. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm like, sorry. Okay. All right. So, okay, so already it's getting, I mean, it looks quite a bit different. I'm going to go in with a little bit more though, and I'm going to darken up the outer edge and kind of sharpen up the line a little bit. So, and I'm going to thicken it up a little bit more. Another cool trick I've learned is if you scowl and make a straight line, and just use your pinky or your ring finger to kind of round it off, it kind of does a shape for you. So, again, using just whatever's left over, I'm going to go in with the front. And your spoolie is your best friend. So, utilize that spoolie, brush everything through, brush everything up and out, up and out. There we go. So now I'm going to go in with that medium shade that I outlined my brow with, and I'm going to start making a cup. Well, after I brush it, I always kind of angle it and brush it a little bit more this way so that that little tip is not square, because I don't like how it looks when it's really squared off. So I softly start brushing right there. And then a couple of little flicks. I'll try to get closer. And maybe a couple throughout the brow just to, there we go. We'll get real up close and personal. There we go. So now that we've got that, so these are some of the ones I love. I'll show you guys the brow gel. It's not my favorite, I'm going to be honest. I kind of cheat on Younique and use Gimme Brow by Benefit. I really like this stuff. This is okay, but because I sell to family and friends, I don't ever recommend something I'm not in love with, and I'm not in love with this. I'm not saying it's a bad product. I love the wand. I love the little applicator. Just for whatever reason, it just doesn't float my boat. So but I always start, because it has fibers, you want them to adhere to your brow hair. Start from the back and brush them forward like this. So they'll get a little bit unruly. And then start at the front, brush up, and then as you progress, do like a falling domino effect, you know, because your hair is going to be straight up at the front, and as you move towards the tail, they're going to start kind of falling. So that's how I comb my brow hairs. So up and out, up and out. Actually, I'm kind of digging it right now, now that I said I didn't like it. I just feel like it doesn't make that much of a difference, I guess. But, I mean, to each his own. Now, what I do after this is I go in with a little concealer. Put a tiny bit on the back of my hand. I mean, like a minuscule amount. Actually, that was probably too much. And I'll clean up under my brows with this, but never over, because your concealer is going to be like a shade lighter than your foundation. So if I did it on top, when I do my foundation, it kind of looks a little off to me. So using that flat side, touch a little bit of that, and looking straight ahead, I'm just going to clean that up. Just like that. And any mistakes you made, boom, done. They're gone. So just whatever's, it's still kind of thick in some parts. So I'm going to use my brush to brush it all down. Just like that. And then I'm going to use either my pinky or my ring finger, because they're your most gentle. I'll go in. Oh, my little finger looks dirty because I was just playing with makeup. So I'll go in with my pinky. and just blend out that concealer. Right where it's up along here, I don't want to blend it because it could smear my brow. So I just touch it, like tap it, and it'll blend it out. The heat from my fingertips just kind of blend it into place. And then you can go in, if there's anywhere you want a little more defined, there you go. There you go. So, now as for the rest of my eye, whatever's left, I just use as my eye primer because it gets rid of all that discoloration. It makes it all the same texture, color, etc. Just like that. And then I will, oh shoot, I forgot a brush. Daggone it. Well, after you use, whether it's concealer as a primer or an eye primer, you're going to want to set it with a translucent powder. So I use this Behold translucent powder, and I love it. I was using the Coty Airspun, but that has a really strong smell. Not to mention, it's not as finely milled as this, so this really, really works nicely, especially because, like I said, I'm 41, so I have crepey eyes. I have more just fine lines and stuff than, say, somebody in their 20s. So I really like that this is super finely milled because it just diminishes those lines. So normally I would have done this with a brush, but because my dumb butt forgot one, there we go. Now for the top, I would go in with my foundation. I realistically never do this step, but if you want like a really, really crisp brow, you could go in with your foundation. Put a tiny dot. Same exact brush. And then just do what you did on the bottom, right on the top. So, I've already primed my face, by the way. Just tracing that line. It's hard to do at this angle, guys. Sorry there's no music, but I'm really scared. I don't know what the copyright rules are and stuff, and I'm scared to break any rules, so I haven't put any music. We'll figure it out. Yeah, exactly. Bella, should we sing?
No.
Okay. So if you wanted more of a crisp line, you could always use your foundation. But realistically, once you finish your brows and your eyes, you're going to go over it with foundation anyway. So to me, this is an unnecessary step, but I mean, to some people, it might work. Different folks, different strokes. So those are some of the stuff I use for thin brows. I love this. It's like a pomade, and it blends out nicely, and it's soft and powdery, so it still looks natural, but it gives a more defined look. And I love the pencils. Now for my little girl, come here. She's got thicker eyebrows. She's blessed. Fuller. Yes, thank you. So I'm going to show you really quickly on her. Okay, come closer.
I can't. Can I step back a little bit?
Come sit with me, yeah. Okay, ready? So hers, as you can see, super nice and full. Maybe right here a little sparse, so we can add a little bit there. And then we're also going to use that pink putty to make it look like this is gone. Because it gives the illusion of like freshly waxed eyebrows. And I stinking love how that looks. I really do. So, we're going to go in. Let me clean this off so I can take off the product. So it's a fair demo, review, whatever. Okay. So what we would do is, oh God, I don't like this. Like my face is right here. You get to see all your little...
I can hold it again.
Oh my God. Okay, anyways. So just lightly go in and tap, tap, and then go in with a lighter one. Always better to start with light because you can build up color. So I'm going to start at the middle. And since this has wax on it, I'm going to start brushing up because I want to get those hairs coated. I want to get them hairs coated. Coat them hairs.
It's not necessary.
Okay, now we're going to make a line and go flick it up. Alright, just like that. You can also, so I'm using it full. God dang it. I'm like all up in your guys' grill. I'm sorry. So you can also just angle it this way and go up, or you could do it this way and make little individual hairs. So now I'm going to go in with the darker shade. So again, tap, tap. Go in with this dark one. I wonder if it comes out darker with the wax. Let me see. Because I wasn't happy with the color. No wax. Yep. Yeah, it does. A lot nicer. So now I'm going to go in towards the end again. Always start middle because you don't want a lot of color. Good God, I got to get out of their face. Oh, you don't want a lot of color right in the front. So again, just, so now that there's plenty of wax, next time I dip in with the color, it won't be necessary to add any more wax. Sorry. I jacked up because this is like a really weird angle. Okay, because I'm her mom, I can do this. I know it's going to be really gross. Sorry, Bells. Okay. Obviously, don't do that to anyone else, but there we go. So now I'm just going to go, I'm going to wipe. Okay. I'm going to wipe that off, and now I'm just going to go in with powder. So again, with that dark powder, no wax. Now we're just going to start feathering, drawing little hairs out. And I go in with just dry powder afterwards because I don't like that shiny look. Like after you put the wax, it looks kind of shiny, especially if you take pictures. I don't like that, so I go in afterwards with a coat of just powder. And I'm going to go in now with a light to give that same ombre effect. I feel like that movie, Princess Bride. I do not think you know how you're using that word. Do you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. You keep using that word, Fezzik, and I don't think you're using it right. So there we go.
What word was it?
Chicken butt. So now you're going to go in with your little spoolie. Now if you don't have the brush, you can use any spoolie that you have laying around. And we're going to brush through them again. And lay them down. There we go. So now we're going to go in with that pink putty. Out of the entire palette, these two items or products right here are my favorite. Why are my fingernails so purple? I thought that was like dirt, but there's like purple ink all over my fingernails. It looks like little shrimp backs, you know, the little black line, but it's purple. That's weird. It's from the purple shampoo I used. You think?
I don't know.
Anyways, so we're going to go in with that pink putty. And, dang on it. Sorry.
You're blocking.
Oh, fudge.
Do you want me to hold it?
Now here, I'll try to do it this way. Turn. Can you guys see? Yeah, I can see. So we're going to go in and using that pink putty. I'm sure I'm calling it the wrong thing, but stretch your eyelids, please. There we go. Basically the same thing I did with the concealer, only with this pink stuff. And it gives a really, really clean, crisp look to your brows. I wish they sold this by itself, actually. And using your pinky, just wipe that down. Alright. Look at me really quick. So I can have like 2 seconds of actually doing it this way. Stop looking at my face. Just staring at me, close your eyes like a normal person. Good God, woman. That would would be so creepy if you're a makeup artist and like they keep their eyes open. I'm watching you. I'm always watching you. Oh my God, Mason's right. I live my entire life through movie quotes. That would be best described. Oh my God, I just did another movie reference. Okay. So there we go. Now we're going to go in with the shimmery highlight. And that you don't want to use across the entire lid. It gives a really nice lifted, more youthful appearance when you use it from like this point on, just like a regular highlighter. But if you use it through your whole eyeline or through your under your whole brow, you look very 80s. And that's not a good look. So, turn your head, please. So just maybe from right here down. There we go. And just like that. Dude, we really need to find out the rules of music because I need some music right about now. Okay, now I'm going to just finish up this line because I feel like this brow is too short to suit your face. There we go. And there we go. Let me see. See, just a little bit more like sculpt it and put your glasses on. She doesn't really wear that much makeup. She's young and beautiful, so. But even just something as simple as defining your brows makes a huge difference, you know? So that's, but if watch, I'll do it on my brows so you guys can see. It looks super, I know it's going to be a really long video, so you guys can fast forward. But if I try it on mine, watch. And I'll do it the exact same way. Tap onto this, tap onto the light. I mean, it's not bad, it's just not as full coverage as, say, a pomade. So, this time I'm not worried so much about the shape. Okay, so that's with the light. I'm going to tap it and go in with the dark. So, there we go. And maybe on camera it won't look, I mean, I'm actually kind of liking it, I'm not going to lie. I just prefer the other one. There we go. I got wax throughout on my brows, which is what the first run is. Now I'm going to wipe off all the excess and go in with just dry. I'm probably only going to use a light one for mine. So now we're going to go in and run some dry powder over them. Just like that. Get a spoolie. And fill that in right there. But if you see, you can see a lot even with, here, I'll go in with some more. Let me go in with even the dark one. We'll go in with the dark one this time dry. It's not bad. Maybe I'm just self-conscious about my little bald brows. But it's just more splotchy in certain colors. It just, I don't know. But I do love this pink stuff. God, I wish they would sell this separate. And I've bought other highlighter, like eyebrow highlighters that other companies make. And this one is really, really good. It's probably my favorite. So going under, cleaning. I love this stuff. Like my brows just got did. There we go. Add a little bit of that highlight. Just right here. especially for my eyes that are super hooded. Tiny bit of highlight in that upper part really makes a big difference. And then I would do the same thing with the concealer or with whatever products left on my hand. That wasn't enough to give it a fair shot. I should be using this finger. Guys, I really hope this video isn't boring. I'm trying to be informative and share some stuff, but like I said, this is only my second video, so it might be a snooze fest, and I'm really sorry about that. But I know that when I go on YouTube and look for videos on, I don't know, say, wing liner or whatever, it's hard for me to like find ones that show the different liners that they carry, different effects that they can do and stuff like that. So that's really my main purpose, is just to show you guys the products the line carries, which ones I love, which ones are like, that's another thing, is I feel like a lot of the pages are like, every item we sell is bomb and is great. And like I said, most of them are great, but there's some that I just would not like. Rose water, I love the scent of it. I would not, it's not something that because I'm on a tight budget, it's not something I would invest 20 bucks on, 25 bucks on. It's just, it's a luxury and it's great and it smells nice, and my kiddos love using it in the morning to wake them up. But I'd rather invest my money in other things, maybe in a lip splurge or a lip